Good morning, Market Chameleons. Everyone joining us for the first time. Thanks for coming by and checking out the Market Chameleon pre-market show. Before we get started, let's take a look at the shared disclaimer. Be aware that neither Market Chameleon, Dimitri, or myself are registered investment advisors or broker-dealer. If you're searching for investment advice, please reach out to a licensed professional. This show, as all our shows, is for informational purposes only concerning Market Chameleon tools and products. One last look at that disclaimer. And let's welcome Mr. Dimitri Pargamanik to the stage. How you doing, Dima?
Good morning, Will. How are you?
Good. What are we going to look at today?
Yeah, one second. I'm just sharing my screen here, and we're going to take a look at a benchmark index that tracks the cost of a diagonal call spread option strategy. And this kind of continues on our previous conversations with benchmarking option strategies. Let's first navigate to that screen. I'm going to type in SPY in the search box. We'll use that in our example today. And on the left-hand side, you have this menu. Click on options, come down to strategy benchmarks, and you come to a page with different tabs that represent a different option strategy. I'm going to close the menu to the left-hand side to expand our screen. And let's scroll down to the diagonal call spread. Okay, let's click on that. And what this is doing is tracking the relative cost of the diagonal call option strategy, normalizing that cost so we could then perform meaningful analysis and insights. Let's first discuss what a diagonal spread is, or diagonal call spread. And we've talked about vertical spreads, which involves two different strikes within the same expiration. So with a call spread, you're buying one strike, selling another in the same expiration. And a time spread we discussed is involves two different expirations but same strike. So you would maybe buy a call with one strike in one expiration and sell a call with the same strike in a different expiration. Now, at diagonal, you have different expirations and different strikes. Okay, and you buy one strike in one expiration and then sell, let's say, an at-the-money call in one expiration, and then go to a different expiration and do a different strike selling an out-of-the-money call. That's a diagonal spread. And just to give you an idea right here, what we're benchmarking, we need to define days to maturity, right? Because options have time premium. So to, kind of standardize that or normalize our analysis, we need to define days to expiration. So we're comparing the cost of a 30 days maturity option today versus a 30-day maturity option yesterday versus a 30-day maturity option the day before. So to do that, we use a methodology similar to the VIX to use the surrounding data to come up with the synthetic 30-day constant maturity options. And when we talk about diagonal spread, we have two different maturities, because similar to a time spread. So in this situation, we're defining a 30-day versus 60-day option. Okay, so now we have two different maturities we're comparing. And in a diagonal spread, we also have different strikes. And to normalize that, we use here at the money. So these would be 30-day at the money synthetic option versus a 60-day 5% out of the money option. We use percentages because that's in finance, that's how we normalize and compare things. So 5% strike today, with the stocks moving around, tomorrow a different 5%. The strike price will be different. So we always just do it by percentage, 5% out of the money. And in this case, here's how we defined it. We're benchmarking buying at the money 30-day call versus selling a call 5% above that, the money 60 days out. So that's our benchmark. And to get a visual of what the strategy may look like at expiration, we have this sample payout diagram. And you could see that since we have two different expirations, one in 30 days, one in 60 days, we have to choose, well, which expiration are we talking about? And because this strategy stops at the first 30 days, right? So once the first option expires, this is no longer a diagonal spread. This option will either expire worthless and then you're just left with one option, or this option is in the money, and if you do nothing, it converts to stock, right? It gets assigned, so then you have a different strategy because then you have stock and option. So at the first expiration, right, the payout diagram, this is a sample what it could look like. So if the stock price is right at the strike A, which is the money that you bought, well, there, and we don't know what the implied volatility is in the other one, but this would not be a good spot for you because the option that you bought, right, will become worthless, right? So you bought this 30-day at the money option for some premium and it becomes worthless. So that would be a loss if the stock floats up and hits your, above here near B. So that will make the option that you bought, right, go up in value because you bought an option, and at the money, a lower strike has a delta, so that should increase as the stock floats up above it towards your short strike. And by then, right, we don't know what the implied vol is, so that has a weighting on it. But by then, with 30 days to go, this 60-day option that you're short should have had decay, right? So you're hoping that your option that you bought increases in value because of the direction of the stock, and that the option that you sold above decays and you capitalize on both sides, right? So this looks similar a little bit to, if you look at it, like a call spread, right? It does look similar to a call spread, except you could see that it's more uncertain because of the implied volatility in different options. And sometimes people may use this alternatively to a buy rate strategy. So buy rate strategy, what you're doing is you're selling an option and buying the stock. Right? So you're hoping that that you collect that decay and the stock floats up a little bit. If the stock goes down, obviously, you collect some. You're going to offset some of it by the call that you sold, but you have a delta. So the stock keeps going down, you're going to lose on that stock purchase. Instead of doing the stock, you could do a call, right? So you're here where you're aiming for is in the next 30 days, the stock floats up and the call that you sold decays or comes in high volatility. And as you can see here, if the stock really tanks here, like below A, well, this will expire worthless. You're at the money, but you're limited to your loss. Unlike a buy rate where you have the stock, so you could go to zero. Here, you're limited to your loss, what you paid for the option, and that will get somewhat offset by the call that you sold up here in B. So that's what a kind of a diagonal spread looks like. So what would it cost us right now, this diagonal spread? And how does that compare to history? Here we see that this would cost 1.4% of spot price. So we use it based off the cost of the strategy relative to the spot price, 1.4%. And this way, by using percent, we could kind of compare QQQ, SPY, Apple, because we're doing it as a percentage of spot price. How does that compare to history? On average, it was 1.2%. So this costs a little bit more than your historical average. What does that indicate from the markets? Well, we could see here from the graph, right? The graph is showing that this has a bullish outlook, right? You want the stock to go above, you're at the money. So the markets right now are pricing a more bullish outlook than history, right? A little bit, 1.4%, because they're paying more for the strategy than average. So that's just kind of a quick insight into how the markets are lined up. Now, of course, if you're looking for a hedge or do the opposite side, then the markets are paying you more than the average. Right? So the opportunities, well, you have a portfolio, or you're long, you're looking to offset some of your delta risk, your vega. Well, this then could show up as a potential strategy to mitigate or hedge some of your risk, because now you're getting more than the historical average. And we could see down here, this is a graph of the cost of that strategy. The dotted line is the average of all the observations, so going back a year. And we could see that, it's gotten as high as 1.7, 1.2, as low as like down here, looks like 1%, maybe a little bit below 1%, 0.9. So historically, in the last year, it ranged from 0.9% to 1.7. So it's on the, higher end of the range and above the average. Okay, that's how this looks like right now. And to make more comparisons, we could look at, for example, 30-day, 90-day to see how that lines up. We could look at 30-day and 120 days. We could look at 60, 90 days, 60, 120. So these are different. We kept here the at the money was 5%, but we changed the dates that you're comparing around, right? So time spread, you could go out further, closer. You could make the dates wider apart, and this allows you to compare the cost of that strategy using that methodology. If we wanted to now go to a different product and say, well, what would this similar strategy, buying an at the money call 30 days out versus selling at 5% out of the money call 60 days out, what would it cost? And it's something like QQQ, right? So we could go over here, QQQ, type that in, and now we could compare those two benchmarks. So you can see here, it's 1.2% versus right at its historical average. So that's a quick way to look at a particular option strategy, with this type of outlook, right? So with the outlook would be, a bullish outlook, you're going to be short Vegas. So you think implied volatility will come in as the stock floats up, right? And that you will get decay as the time goes on from the longer term option. So I think, Will, I'm going to stop there as we covered that strategy at this point.
That was great. We did have a question. Can I show it to you?
Yeah.
Or do you just want me to read it to you?
You can read it, I guess.
It's from Stefan. Is there a way to overlay underlying price with this plot of relative premium of the strategy?
That's a good question. There isn't here. You know, and I'll look into it if we could create a tool like that. Right now, you can't. You know, this only looks at the strategy on its own in this graph.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Well, it's Thursday. We've gone over past hump day. We've got 2 days left of trading. We'll have a great show for you tomorrow. Thanks for today's show, D, as always. Everyone, thanks for joining us. Remember to like, follow us on all the platforms, maybe a thumbs up on YouTube if you're watching it right now. Great job, D.
Thanks, everyone, for joining. Stay safe out there. Have a great trading day. We hope to see you guys tomorrow.
Trade in peace, chameleons. Everyone have a great day. Bye.